Did anything transpire last night in either the Heat or the Panthers games that changed your thoughts on how both these series are ultimately going to end? That's
Not
the
at all.
question. Because, listen, Toronto to grab a game in a 7-game series against the Panthers, that's not outlandish.
No.
The Knicks to hold court, I don't want to make them sound better than I think they are, because I spent the majority of yesterday saying that they're, not worthy of the seed that they were. And so I don't want to say that, they earn or deserve 2 games from the Heat. But I still didn't see anything last night in either of those games that makes me think, I got to get a little nervous about this Heat series now. Or, I got to get a little nervous about the Panthers series.
No, in the Heat game, actually, Jimmy scoring 19 and only losing by 9 almost encouraged me, because R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle, they're not going for 25 apiece every night. Jalen Brunson's going to get his, which he was amazing. But Jimmy got to score 30, we win the game. Like, it almost – last night's loss reaffirms what we know the Heat's playoff run is going to look like.
Which is, you need playoff Jimmy throughout the entirety of the playoffs. If you don't get playoff Jimmy – you get the Heat team that we saw all season long, which is what we thought the team was going into the playoffs. So, Lana, you watched them all season. You watched them last night. If you don't get playoff Jimmy, that's essentially what you have last night, no?
Yeah, and you were still within 2 points with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left after starting 3 of 22 from 3. You couldn't knock down shots all game. You were abysmal shooting. You didn't get playoff Jimmy. They got 40 free throws compared to your 21. They out-rebounded you, and Brunson played all 48 minutes. You only lost. It was a 2-point game with 2 minutes to go. Okay, fine. Yeah. You tip your cap to New York. You guys shot well. You played well. You won the game you were supposed to.
And the entire Milwaukee series and this entire series has been those situations. Single-digit leads, either way, and then Jimmy comes in with 2 minutes left, takes over, scores a quick 6, and we win. He didn't do it. And if he doesn't do that, we're going to lose the next 3. But I don't see Jimmy not turning back into a 30-point Jimmy here coming up in the next game.
Now, while it doesn't change what you think of the current series, maybe it does change what you think would happen if the Heat do advance and they face either Boston or Philadelphia. Maybe last night you look at that and you go, you know what? It's unfair to ask Jimmy to be playoff Jimmy every single game in the playoffs. And your margin for error against a team like Philly or Boston is much narrower than a team like the New York Knicks.
Yes. The defensive side of the ball for sure. They got to tighten up. The Knicks are shooting well, but there was a lot of wide open shots. So I didn't even criticize the offensive side. Huck, there's not going to be, I know you want it, there's not going to be the 35-point dunking game. Strus and Caleb aren't coming out there and just Strus and Caleb aren't coming out there and just becoming something different. No, I don't fear Jimmy not being Jimmy, because I'll tell you, if Jimmy's not Jimmy, we're not winning many games. So no, it just like I said, reaffirms what I already knew.
Yeah, I think we learned again. I think we probably learned about the Heat last night what we started to realize in the Milwaukee series. Mm-hmm. And it was driven home last night. If Jimmy puts up 19, has an average game, you're going to get an average performance out of the entire team. And that's what you got. Now, again,
what it did do?
Boston and Philadelphia are better, though. So that's the part that makes me nervous moving forward.
You know what it didn't do? What it did do was make me say, I don't care what happens this season. If we win a damn championship, we can't just run this back. Because that's almost unfair to Jimmy to run it back where he has to be Superman every night.
I'm with that. And he's got to be thinking that too, right? Yes. I mean, he knows after last night's game, he looks at the box score. He knows exactly, what transpired.
He's talking to every disgruntled player right now on text message.
So now we have Friday night to look forward to.
Yes.
Can do it all again on Friday night. Tonight, we get the NFL schedules released, and there's already some leaks that are coming out regarding the Dolphins. Friday night, we do it all again. And I have to tell you, regarding the Panthers, I wouldn't be surprised if that series goes 6 games, because now you go up to Toronto, they're not a bad hockey team. You could see them winning Friday night, talking about the Maple Leafs. Then you'd have a Mother's Day game back in Sunrise on Sunday. I was ready to be done with everything last night. I think a lot of South Florida sports fans were kind of in that mindset. Like, yeah, all right, we close them out and let's move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Both sides, both series get extended. So it is what it is, but we'll run it back on Friday. Tomorrow, stay out of our way.
I wanted that rest. I wanted Bob and Jimmy and Verhage,
As
and
a
I wanted
viewer.
that rest.
I wanted the rest as a viewer. Solana wanted the rest as a host.
Yes.
A lot of people wanted a rest. Doug Plagans was telling me off the air yesterday. He's like, yeah, we don't want to fly back to Toronto. Like, we can end this tonight, relax for a few days, wait for the rest of the series to play out. Like, yeah, we don't want to pack our bags and fly back to Toronto, but it's exactly what they have to do.